I find that interesting right there. That powerful message that was put out. That was way back in 2014.
10 years ago.
That was 10 years ago. Since then, True Romance, what else? Lovers Rock have come out since then. But this is when she was, woo, man.
That sound wise.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sound like she's smart.
Yeah, but she sounded like she was on point back then, right? Well, and since then it's 10 years later, and I think the 18th day that came out back in 2004.
Yeah.
So we're talking 20 years later, and the messaging that you heard in that message is dealing with integrity and not bending or compromising who you are. Absolutely is the formula to be around for 20 years in this business or any other business. And those words were spoken by the one and only, the Grammy Award winning Estelle is here, ladies and
Estelle! Love me some Estelle.
Yeah, that's Tracy G. She back in New York.
Hey, Estelle.
She and DB and Kalani, they're back in New York. When you hear your voice, who was that person?
I like her. I don't know. She sounded like she's smart. Like she's been through some stuff. I like her. Yeah, she's all right.
Is anything about her then that you kept with you today?
I keep her all.
Yeah.
I keep her all. I keep all of her. You know, that was it's like, wow, hearing myself. No, I keep her all. It's absolutely here with me today. The new music feels like that. You know?
Feels like,
but with a bit more grace.
With a bit more grace, right?
Yeah, with a lot more grace. I'm saying a bit, yeah.
Yeah, 20 years, and you only about 27 years old.
You know,
so how did that happen?
Man, you looking
we love
great
your math.
too.
I say it's Jesus, some sunshine, and a good spirit.
That's what it is.
It's God. No, really, it's God. It's nothing to do with me. It's nothing to do with me. I can't call it. I don't know. I feel like I look the same. Everyone's like, you haven't really aged. I'll let the internet tell me if I have or not. But
yeah, no.
But I stay looking at myself and renewing myself as much as I possibly can, and editing and organizing myself as I go along the way. So I try to grow. You know? I
mean, it ain't always easy. I would imagine. Has your faith ever been challenged in the past 10 years? Give me an example of how.
Like, this album, this album, all this music started from like maybe 2019.
Okay.
After Lovers Rock. Mm-hmm. Was going through a little bit of a break. Not a break. I hate to use the word break because that's semantics, but like just a little bit of a reinvention or reawakening. If that makes sense. Trying to figure out things that I've been raised with, learning that things I've been raised with were not true, learning that the way I looked at my life wasn't necessarily truthful to who I was as a human. So I had to like reconstruct it, like real life, like break it down to build it back up again, you know?
The way you was living your life wasn't true to who you are as a person.
Yeah.
At the time.
I was tight. I was hard. Everything was just so hard, and it made my life hard. And I had this whole softer, just be nicer to yourself person laying underneath me that needed a lot of healing, that needed a lot of revamping per se, or just, you know, clearing up, just a hug essentially, a big soul hug. And I gave that to myself and I received it.
You gave yourself a soul hug.
I gave myself a soul hug and I received it from other people.
And then,
amen. It starts with you. So
what role did the industry play in that convolution?
Oh no, I don't think it played a role more than it was just I'm in it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm here and it is what it is. I can choose to be a part of it. I can choose to use it or let it use me. And I was letting it use me for a while instead of using it and, you know, and taking myself, my real human self out of it when I needed to. I was just so encompassed by being, I have to stay in it. I have to make music. I have to, and I was miserable.
Yeah.
And I said, I opted out for a few years. Like, all right, Lovers Rock might be my last turn up, guys. That's fun. And God was like, no, I got more.
Yeah, man, I love that. This is Estelle hanging out with us right now. And I would see you in that time when you wasn't making music.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And I've never seen Estelle. I've never seen you without a smile.
Because what? Like, what's there to be miserable about, low-key?
Yeah.
High-key, what's there to be miserable about?
Life
is great. I control myself. Me and God. It's me and Him. I just, you know, there's miserable times. There's times when it's like, okay, yeah, that doesn't feel, and then I have to check myself and remember exactly who I am and where I'm coming from with it, and everything kind of is calm. You know, I'm blessed to be here. I get very present.
Yeah, come on.
I'm extremely I have a divinely orchestrated life. I know this is a lot of spirit talk in the morning,
I
but
love
guys,
it. Come on,
that's
we
what
need
it's
it
about.
right
We're
now.
here for
But
that.
that's what we're here for.
you know, I have a divinely orchestrated life, and I just could not plan it the way it's happened. What do I have to be miserable about? You know, and I think about whether I do music or not, whether I was in a space with people that are famous or not. I'm still that same human. There's no reason to switch it up. I'm happy a lot.
Yeah, you're happy a lot. Yeah. That's why I said every time I see you, you're smiling.
Yeah.
I mean, she could be asleep with a smile on her face. I've seen it.
I'm genuinely joyful, and so when I'm outside, I'm happy. You know.
You uprooted yourself. I mean, you know, it's people's biggest fear to live in another country.
What? That's fun.
Yeah, I mean, to visit is one thing, but to immerse yourself in a society, you know, and create a whole nother life, and leaving another life, and people in that life, that's little, you know.
I think it's more for me. This is about it's destiny, and it's again, like I said, my life is divinely orchestrated. If I don't take the jumps, if I didn't take the leaps, there's no way I could feel the joy I feel now.
Okay.
And being in another country is neither here nor there. It's like you just go where you're supposed to be.
Planet Earth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Earth is my turf.
Earth is your turf.
Yeah.
All right. So now we know why it took so long to come back with more music.
I was going through it.
You was going through it. Okay.
I came out of it. It feels good.
And then you connected back with Keith Harris, right?
Yeah.
Keith never went anywhere?
Keith never went anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. We've been working. Keith understands. He's one of the producers that I work with that has been in my life forever. He came in with American Boy. I found out he was part of the production team of American Boy maybe a year into having a record, because it was produced by Will I Am. Say Will Smith. Produced by Will I Am.
Shout out to Will I Am. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy.
The legend. And so we just hit it off as friends, and we just record music and put it down. And like much the same way I would do with Jerry Wonder with my reggae stuff. Me and Keith would just have a house record or something sitting in the vault. And maybe in 2012 I had this one record. I was like, I just want to have fun. I feel like I just need my joy back, right? Maybe 2012. And then we got to like 2017, 2018. I was like, all right, the world is turning. I feel it. And we need to dance again. We need joy again. I think people need joy again. Let's I want house, I want dance, I want up. I don't want to slow drag nothing.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, that's my life. Like, you know, he's from Chicago. That's his whole,
Keith Harris, man.
That's his
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah.
So that we got into it and we started recording in maybe 2018, 2017, this new set. And we knocked it out. This wasn't long. We didn't think about this record per se. I wasn't in there like editing the record to the ends of the earth. I wasn't in there like 12-hour sessions. I really did 4-hour sessions.
Really did 4 hours.
Yeah.
Clocked in, clocked out.
And left him with the record. Trusted that it was going to be what it needed to be. And prayed. Trusted that it was going to be what it needed to be and left. And he would turn it around every single time.
Every time. Keith Harris. Salute to Keith Harris. Wanted to give him his flowers.
Yeah.
So you don't have necessarily, you know, usually when we put our music, we have expectations or goals.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like you have any of those.
No, I mean, not in a traditional sense.
Okay.
My goal is, for every album, is for it to reach the intended. This one is a different thing. This is my album for me. Every other album's been about paying homage to a degree, where I came from, my family, my past, and I had to decide who I was in this one. It took me this amount of years. If you know my albums, you know how old I am. It took me this amount of years, and I'm proud and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like,
That's dope.
Yeah.
man, this is if there was a testament to who I am, Estelle as a person, this album is it.
This is it. Come
Yeah.
on.
Thank you.
They just gave her a high
Thank you.
five.
No, because I think when Estelle, like, she came in and we embraced, and she's like, you up? I know y'all get up early.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm up. But I'm also up too, just in spirit, as you mentioned, you know. And I think when you said something earlier about, you know, sort of unlearning how we grew up and recognizing some of those things. And I think for me, just personally, when I was doing music full time, I know exactly what you're talking about in that experience. And I feel like I always describe it as this hard shell.
Yeah.
I was in a very hard shell, and I needed to get out of that cocoon.
Yeah.
And so you don't realize it. You are smiling. But you have to tap into why I can't break out of this shell. I got to be guarded. My mother told me this. My father taught me that. I got to do this. I got to do that. But it's such a beautiful experience when God finally releases you out of that shell. It's a peace that comes with that.
Yeah.
It's an anointing, I feel like, that comes with that, and a covering, even though you're no longer in that shell. And I think there's a freedom.
Yep.
That allows you to walk in your faith and be bold about it, because you know what that experience was like, and you're finally on the other side of it. Yeah. And when I heard I was like, wow, this sounds so free. It sounds so good. She's in that place. She's like, I didn't know how to describe it, but hearing you talk, I get it. Yeah. And I want to encourage people to come out of that shell. Allow God to, because you do have to unlearn so many things.
Oh, my days.
And it's a process.
Can you I'm curious to give me an example of what you had to unlearn, Heather, and then Estelle, what you had to unlearn.
I had to know that I had to learn that I didn't always have to make it right. Oh, always tried to. It's not your responsibility to always make it right. Like, sometimes you just have to go through things. You have to. I can't fix this. I can't make this person love me or care about me or want this or want to be my partner, my friend, or understand my ideas creatively. You have to go through this, because there's going to come a time in the day where it's just going to be you. If you these dreams that I hear you writing about and crying about and silent tears, and those prayers were just the tears, you have to go and boss up. And the only way to do that is you got to be able to do it yourself. You got to
see. Estelle is pantomiming behind Heather. Every word she says.
I don't want to clap really loud and be like, yeah, because you're saying exactly, yeah.
It's and everybody, the sooner you could get to that, the better.
You said you had to unlearn the lies that you were told.
Well, just like through what you see growing up.
Okay.
For what you see, and not just your family, but just in surroundings. The things you're told you have to be, the ways you're told that life has to run because you're this kind of human according to somebody else. And I found out that I was, my brain and the way that I think and the way that I believe and the things that have happened to me, again, I look at them like, man, there's no way that happens to anyone if you're not listening. Mm-hmm. I'm not what you think I am. And I have to figure out what that is. Mm-hmm. I understand and I see that when things happen, when I think of things and when I believe in things, or I say on repeat, I'm going to do that. And then it happens. Yes. And then I see the way that my friends look at me, and they don't look at me to make me feel unnerved. They're just kind of like, you're weird. How did you just, and then it happens. And then I realize, that's not everybody. Mm-hmm. There's a certain, especially at my age and at the time I was doing it. And I am doing it, and I stopped feeling on guard about things like that, and I got real comfortable with manifestation. I got real comfortable with knowing, I came here real specifically to do a certain thing, as all of us have. But my purpose in my life and my divine energy, the way I move, is my thing. And I had to get real comfortable with that. And a lot of people got uncomfortable with that. There was a lot of, who do you think you are is? And I was like, well, I know who I am, and you're here, so you know who you are. So let's talk about that instead of being on defense of each other. Who are you? And that changed a lot of conversations with my family, with my parents, with myself. Being present is, I feel like, one of my favorite things.
Estelle is here, Tracy.
Yeah. Tracy. She on it. Oh my God!
She on one this morning. Give me
she
some
on
coffee.
one and Heather on two. I wish I could come through the screen. I wish I could come through the screen right now, because this is almost like a free life coach session that we're having from all of the honesty that's being shared. And Estelle, I've always been such a fan of yours. You're so easy to be a fan of. You're so easy to root for, and I say that with sincerity. When it comes to this song, like Heather said, it's like, the way it feels in my body, it's so joyful. It's an obvious party record, but on the flip side, it also has so much substance and so much soul. Because all of the verses to me are really about personal transformation and about healing, you know, and embracing that healing is not linear. Like on verse 3, you said, this might take away your pain, but on the other hand, this shit might hurt you.
It might.
This might put you through some things, but bring you back just the way you like you.
Yeah.
Can you speak about, because for often when folks, we have so many conversations around healing now, right? Yeah. We're in a world that embraces a lot of the metaphysical, but oftentimes folks take that first step and feel like, you know, it'll be a magic pill.
Yeah.
And then they'll just open their eyes and tomorrow everything will be better. But forget that when you face yourself, sometimes that truth really pierces you. You know what I mean?
It's a reason
before it helps you.
It's a reason you started doing it. Like you didn't start doing it because you felt good. You didn't get into your healing bag because you felt like everything was great. Mm-hmm. So what do you expect to come out and face you? That pain. Mm-hmm. So I learned a hard lesson, especially when it started coming back to back to back and all the homies was gone. When I had to look at homies who I felt were close and be like, you don't actually like me. When it had to be like, I don't like myself because I have myself surrounded by you. Why am I attracting you? Oh my goodness. Another one. Every other day was just like, there were days when I would straight be meditating for like a week.
Hell yeah, that's an epiphany.
Like every day I was like, I need like 2 hours. Everyone leave me alone. No, I said I don't got it today. And I'll get up, meditate, go right back in the bed. You know, and classify that how you want, but I had to go through that because it was just like an unveiling, like a rose peeling petals. It was just consistently like another layer, oh my goodness, another layer. And I have an obsession with roses, not obsession, but I love roses. Mm-hmm. But this speaks to it perfectly because it was just like back to back, but on the other side of it, the lightness, the joy, the feeling, the ability to be able to command it, the ability to know where it comes from and be able to be like, no, I'm me today and I'm happy and this is where I'm going with it, you know, not just affirmations but feeling it like on just a cellular level that is inexplainable. It's just it's like the thing you've been praying for, like, thank God, okay. And it's gonna be more because you know I spent way more time being the old version of Estelle than I have being this new version, so I give myself grace.
I like the new version, man. Come
Thank
on,
you,
I like the old version. So I was
she was good.
I wasn't a hater.
Not me either.
You know,
right?
Me either.
I can't wait to hear the full body of work. Then
I can't wait to put it up. Yeah, it's joy, man. It's joy.
Amen.
It's joy. Mm-hmm. Is that the name of the album?
No.
Oh my gosh! I thought
it's
I
on
got
the way.
it.
You tried it.
It's on the way. It's on the way.
All
but
right.
you should call it joy if you want.
Yeah,
whatever
that's
feels
dope.
good.
It's joy. Damn, I don't know. I throw
It's
that
gonna
out
feel
there.
like joy for sure.
100%.
You got the podcast, the Estelle Show.
Yay!
You got 500 episodes under your belt?
Man, plus we was at 800 now.
Y'all at 800?
What?
800 episodes?
Yeah, 800, 900 episodes now. Yeah.
How long that take you to do it? Damn.
Ever. I've been working on this my whole life. No, well, low key. I started with Apple in the Panini. We were meant to start in 2019, and then it pushed a year, and we had this idea in maybe 2016. Mm-hmm. Because myself, my management, and my crew, I'm a music lover, like yourselves. Mm-hmm. You know, I love music. Like, I listen to words, I listen to lyrics. Like, you were playing records earlier, and I was like, I ain't heard this in years. I was like, this is brand new. I was going for it, right?
Yeah.
Singing along. But that's my heart. And so we started with the idea of like having a show that was more based on reggae, and Apple were like, how would you like to do this for real with all your interests? And I was like, I would love to do this for real with all of my interests. Mm-hmm. And that's it. We've been on there, Apple, the Estelle Show, for 4 years.
4 years, yo.
So
this ain't no fly-by-night situation.
It's one of the things I've always wanted to do, like use all my talents. This comes with the unlearning that I had to just do one thing. Mm-hmm. Unlearning that I had to this had to be the tent pole for everything. It's like, no, well, you can have a few verticals, but you can be great in all these things. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Be present.
The unlearning that you only can do one thing is something we all really have to explore and real back. You know what I mean? We grew up in hip hop. You can only rap.
It's a new day.
You can't sing. If you sing, you know they'll discredit you. None of that.
No, our spirits are so vast, and I take it back to that as the root. Our spirits are so vast. Why would that only matriculate into one thing in your lifetime.
So we see you exercising that when we watch you on Fatal Affair. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
With Nia and Omar Epps, right? You know, what was that like? I mean, so was
Was
this?
it the Bob?
Yeah, you know, you do your thing. Venus.
Yeah. Venus is
You
a
played a
boy.
boy.
No, Venus is
okay.
a boy.
Venus is a boy. Okay, all right.
No, that was with. It's called Venus is a boy.
I-
Cut it out.
Did you play a boy? No, just
No,
go ahead.
well,
Okay.
I played a they.
You played a they.
In Garnet, yeah. I played a character called Garnet, which is a cartoon of it's a cartoon called Steven Universe, and I played a character called Garnet, and she is two women come together to make the Garnet, and they marry themselves. The idea is that both of them are fire and ice. You know, one's good ball of energy, and the other one's just calm. And I was like, oh, I see myself there. You know, and so. Yeah, it was an easy role to play, and plus she plays like they play the big sister of all of the gems. I have to get the terminology right, but fans of Steven Universe understand. They play the big sister of all the gems.
Well, we have Tavon from Houston. She's a big fan of Steven's Universe, right? Tavon, welcome to the show.
What's up, Tay?
Hey, Tay Tay.
Good morning, first time caller.
Wait, hold on, we
Happy to
got a
finally
first
get
time
through
caller.
to y'all.
What's up with you?
Okay, great. All right, we really have
Doing well.
we really reward you for first time callers. Our effects are off today. All right, but go ahead, Tavon. Say hi to Estelle.
Good. Good morning, Estelle. Happy I got to get through to speak to you. And I just wanted to ask you, do you have any intentions of doing voice acting again? I loved you in Steven Universe, by the way.
Thank you, baby. Absolutely, yes, I'd love to. I enjoy it. It's fun. I get to roll out of my bed and do it. Like the process of it is great, by the way. But honestly, being the character Garnet was like one of the greatest honors of my life. I never knew it was gonna spin into what it's become. But yeah, I'd love to do more voice acting. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Tavon, thanks for your call.
I look forward to it.
Thank you, baby. Have a great day.
You're a super citizen,
Let's
Tavon.
wait in the morning.
Come on, give her that. Give her that.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
What is?
Oh, that's great.
Hey, better late than never, Torch. I see you, baby. I see you,
Torchy.
baby.
That's great.
Yeah, Torch.
And so you live in L.A.,
Yeah.
right? I follow you on Instagram, and I know that you're going to be doing club quarantine, right? New Year's Eve.
Yes.
With the one and only D Nice.
Yeah, that's the homie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a low key a big part of allowing me to give this album its vibe. I want to say in the Panini when we was all listening to him on his show on live. I say his show on live because it's a show. It was a show at that point. We were all like, tune in, he's on live, let's go. If we got your wine, let's go. And I really was listening and remembering. I'd already been in that vibe of listening to like 70s and 80s disco and soul. That's where I live. One of my friends had given me a playlist, maybe 2018, like, yo, and it's got every song. It's like 4,000 songs on this playlist.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Not every song.
Okay.
And D Nice was playing all those joints. So I was 2 p.m. in the afternoon, 12 o'clock really, and I had my red wine.
Yeah.
And I was dancing around the house with everyone like we was all doing in the Panini. And I was just like, yo, we forget this. This made us feel good. This made us it punched through our souls. This is what I'm on. Something's in the air. I feel it, you know? And we came up with a really good record. So he's on the album too.
D Nice is on the album.
Yeah, he's on the album.
Salute to D Nice. I wanted to ask you because I was anytime I can right now, I'm trying to put light on Fatman Scoop. You know, he was somebody that I considered a friend.
Yeah.
You know, I got a chance to hang out with him a ton of times. I did. You remember that? Fatman Scoop was early on podcasting back in the day, and I remember him and his then wife at that time used to do that show where you lay in bed.
Yep.
Right?
Oh my gosh,
You-
yes.
You remember that?
I remember it.
Absolutely.
I listened to that. It's crazy.
And I had the most popular episode because I came and got in his bed with him and his wife.
That sounds about right. That sounds about sway.
Me and Scoop almost start fighting because me and his wife was.
What are you
flirting.
into when you're not on the microphone?
You know.
Well, it was a pie. It was an interview, Heather. It was just an interview, you know.
Fantasies.
But talk about. I saw you really pay homage to him, you know,
sure.
and talk about your relationship with Scoop.
Listen, I didn't know him too well, but I was super honored when I got to. Well, I was super honored when I heard the version of One Love he did.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, it was a dance record. Like, I didn't think anyone in hip hop was touching that record like that. I had One Love. It was David Guetta at the beginning of his reign of like records. He did Freak for me, and then he had One Love. And then someone just said, oh, look, here's a remix with Fatman Scoop. And I was like, what?
Wow.
So, and that's the version I play at all my shows. I rock out to that Fatman Scoop version. But we also went on tour in Australia. And when I tell you, the funnest person on the planet, good to watch, good to be around, just always talking, good vibes, performing, parentheses, but like just on good vibes and good energy all the time. And I was like, man, and you've been here forever, and you're just so happy.
Yeah.
It's weird when people say it to me. I'm looking at someone like him, and I'm just like, no, that's where you want to be.
That's happy, right?
Yeah. So I'm happy to have known him. I'm happy to have a record with him, but I'm happy to have known him and met him and been in his presence. He's a good guy.
What's some moments I always like? Somebody sent me a clip yesterday that I never saw.
Oh no.
Of the moment President Obama accepted. Won the election, right?
Okay.
We were in Chicago at that field. I can't think of the name, O'Hare, maybe, I don't know. And I was covering it for MTV, so I was 50 yards away from the stage, right? And when they made the announcement, I made the announcement to the world that he became the 44th president of the United States, and it was.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was huge.
That's when I came to the United States.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
I was here, yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Yeah, right. And somebody, I never saw it. Never saw it, right? And I always wondered about that moment because that was one of my proudest moments. Someone sent it to me yesterday. I could show it to you. Right, when we get off the interview. Do you have moments like that for your career?
Oh, wow. Oh, that's hard. That's really hard. There are many of them. And because, again, the way I had moved my career before was like, knock it out, get to the next. Don't even look at it.
You don't even look, yeah.
Past 5-6 years, though.
I've been
pausing to enjoy it and smell it and read it and be in it and see it. Because I want to feel it to be able to move to the next. The early ones was, I think maybe after not touching the ground for maybe 16 months, one of my band members got me a DVD of all the performances that we had done.
Oh my God.
And I think I about bawled that entire holiday season. I was like, this is the most valuable gift. But also like, we did all of this? What?
Yeah.
It was maybe 15 to 20 performances, TV and shows and everything. And, it was just a reminder, look how far you came in such a short space of time, but also look at you in your light and in your brightness, and this is you. And I couldn't see it before, especially because I was going through a full spiral.
Right.
Like, this is crazy, it's winter, I've not made no money, I've been moving around for years, oh my God, this is trash, maybe this is the worst experience I ever did in my life. At the height of American Boy, a wild time for the books, for the story. But he gave me that DVD and I was just like, oh, this isn't so trash.
Yeah.
This is not so trash.
Not so bad.
God, you're moving in some light. Just keep moving. Yeah.
And those other things shall come, right?
Yeah, I ain't worried about them.
Man, give it up for Estelle, y'all.
I
We love you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I love you.
Okay. All
Yes,
right.
love you, Estelle.
Thank you for having me.
Next time you up, man, we gotta get a performance.
I would love that. Listen, I also have the Terry Hunter remix of OI.
Aye. Okay.
Yeah, big house remix. So
That'll be coming up. Well, we got
it's out. It's out.
You in LA, so we got the studios here. We got performance studios downstairs. So
Let's go.
next time
Don't
we
threaten
come
me.
back.
Don't threaten me.
No. We got something we do new.
This is why he asking you live on air.
I'm live
Okay,
at
no.
your garage
And I'm
series.
in it.
All
I'm
right.
in it. I
You
love
in
it. I love it. Yeah,
You
I'm
down
in
with
it?
it?
For sure.
We got her. All right, cool, man. Interview done.
The manager's over there like, absolutely.
All right, well, Estelle, we love
Estelle
you.
would be great in Napa Valley too.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Perfect
You wanna do
at the
jazz
Black Radio
Let's do
Experience.
it. Come on. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to point at you.
That's
like
all right.
that. No, you looked at my finger
Yeah.
like it.
I have been performing my whole life. I would love that. Especially this music. This new music. Yeah.
Okay. We know Robert Glasper.
Yeah.
We just hosted that.
Yeah.
Okay, so come on.
Yeah,
tell them.
got you.
Robert, I know Robert. Next year, come on, bro.
All
What
right.
you doing? Let's go.
I'm gonna send them that too.
All right, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Perfect
get Estelle to
edition.
do a drop too.
Okay,
Sure.
let's do that.
Money.
All right, let's do that. Estelle, thank you. We're gonna play OI again.
Yes,
play
it's
it.
so good.
Shout out to Keith Harris. You think Keith will come up when you perform?
I think he'll be performing with me.
Okay, great.
That's a
Okay,
nice.
he's gonna be playing. What is? Yeah.
Plays keys.
He plays ski.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
he
that's
plays everything. So
oh man, that's the
should be
legend
fair.
right there. All
Yeah.
right, Estelle, man, give it up.